part 1, we created inventory items with grid layout. Now let's add tag to all these items. And another tag for pickable items. You can see bottle and book here. We have 16 items. Add that amount to a variable in inventory. You can get Visual 13 Plus with the link under this video. Let's add macro touch and macro inventory to use in this video. To use macro touch, Step 1. Enable any touch events you use. I will turn off touching events because it will check every frame. You can set raycast distance and layer mask here if you want. Step 2. Open Use Touch to get event you want to use. If you double tap on an icon, that item will be used. Let's get event UI double tap to check icon click. Next, open your main script. Step 3. Paste copy event, edit variable. After double-click icons with tag item, rename its name to test. Make sure your items have box collider already. When you double-click on item, it will rename item's name. Next, let's create an inventory with macro inventory. To use macro inventory, Step 1. Copy macro inventory to object. Step 2. Open Use Inventory to get event you want to use. Let's copy Create Inventory Event. We should always add new events after game is loaded. I call this game ready. Paste the copy event here. Edit variables. This event will create a list inventory in inventory object. Amount is the total of items that inventory can contain. We created an object variable total items from object inventory. Item parent is the parent object of all these items. And inside item list, we have all item objects here. So item's parent here is item list. You can type its name like this or use another way. You can use get child, first child from object inventory. It is item list also. Initial default item is default item when it has amount equals 0. These are 4 basic elements of an item should have. Icon path is the location of icon sprite in folder resources. You can watch video part 2 to know why to use this to get icon sprite. All icon sprites must be inside folder resources. I have a default icon. If item has amount 0, it will show this sprite. Let's add inventory splat default icon into icon path. All items will start at 0 amount. Max amount is the limit amount of an item is allowed. Name is most unique because it's used to recognize that item with other items. Index amount is order of elements amount we just created. Here I can pass has index 0, amount is 1, max amount is 2, name has index is 3. After press play, choose Object Inventory. You can see how it works. On the left side, Inventory List is created in Object Inventory. It created 16 default items like this one. Next, let's add item to inventory after click on a pickable item. Copy this event to use. Paste it here. First, let's set up values of adding item on pickable items. Add tag pickable item to these 3D objects. We have 4 values: icon path, amount, max amount, name. Type in its location path from folder resources. Next is value amount. Every time click on this book, it will add 1 book to inventory. I limit max amount is 1 for slots that contain this item book. Lastly, name it with book. Do the same with object border. I will limit max amount of border slot is 5. And adding amount is 2 borders every time we click on this border. Open macro touch to get event to check clicks on these 3D objects. Let's use 3D on touch begin with tag to check clicks on 3D object. Paste touch event here. Change tag to pickable item. Every time pickable item is clicked on, add that item to inventory. Let's get icon path, amount, max amount, name from these pickable item objects. You can add many more values of item as you want. If you have 5 values, make sure adding item has 5 values also. I will use for these pasted values of an item for now. When you press play and touch on pickable item, you can see its values were added to our inventory. Next, let's display edit item on our inventory UI. Let's use event display an item. Paste it here and use it after add item succeed. Add item need to display on inventory UI. Each child of item will be triggered 1 with each of child of item. Each item on inventory UI has 2 values, icon and amount to show. An object amount is currently inactive. It will be active and displayed only if amount is greater than 0. Check index child If 0, it is object icon. If 1, it is object amount. To set a sprite for an UI object, we use image set sprite. Child of item is object icon now, and value will be icon path. We will use resources load path to get a sprite component. Add icon path to path, then set type sprite. Lastly, add that sprite to sprite slot. Add this value to flow variables to use it easier. Replace with these variables. This is flexible for any games. You decide how to show it by yourself. Next, if index type is 1, it is object amount. Object amount will be active and displayed only if amount greater than 0. Value now will be the amount of current item in that slot. Greater than 0, object amount is active. Less or equal 0, it will be inactive. Set text equal amount value. Values is currently integer. We need to convert it to string. Let's play to see how it works. Items are added into inventory successfully. Next, let's get event to use an item from inventory UI. Copy use one item event. Let's move this double tap to our current event. If we double tap on an item on inventory UI, that item will be used. After item is used, display that updated item slot. It's done very fast and easy. After double click, item is used and its amount is decreased. When the game is closed and opened again, inventory has been removed and not saved. Let's do save and load inventory now. Let's add a custom event save inventory to save inventory. We will call this custom event after item is updated. Let's create an initial saved variable to store our inventory list. Create a variable with name saved inventory with list component. Remember to add its first null item. Next, put our inventory into this save inventory variable. Make sure you add save variables. If you don't add this node, saved variables will not be saved. We will load inventory right after new inventory is created. If inventory is existed and created in last game, just load it now. To check it, we will check if first try of saved variable is null or not. If this first try not null, inventory is existed, load it. After inventory is loaded, let's display all existed items. We can use getItChildren to get all items from our inventory. GetItChildren will return its children object one by one. Parent here is parent object that contains all items in inventory. Object that contains all item objects is item list. So parent object will be item list object. Or you can do this way. First try of inventory object is item list object also. Let's run to see if it works. After added some item to inventory, close game and open it again. Our inventory has been saved and loaded successfully. Next, let's try to remove a specified amount from an item slot. We can use remove amount item event. We will use a button to do it. After press X, it will remove first slot with amount by 2. If it is succeed, show new amount. It returns failed only if not enough amount to remove. We currently have this inventory. After press X, first item slot has been removed by 2. If not enough amount to remove, it will return failed. We can swap items between two slots in our inventory. We will use button Z to swap items between two slots. Let's swap first and second slots. Item and item 1. After swap succeed, display two updated item slots. Press play to test it. After press button Z, first and second slots have been swapped. Our events worked very well. I added in-game message and visible swap feature. This is our final result. You can use this macro inventory in any type of game. Comment below if you want any additional events in this macro inventory. Please like and subscribe my channel to get more tutorials. Thank you for watching.